How do I, 29 female, recommunicate to my fiancé, 39 male, why an infidelity clause in our prenup is important to me but also not personal to him? Interesting. I read. My fiancé told me he would ask for a prenup a year before we got engaged. If I were in his financial situation, I would ask for one too. I am 29 and have 500,000, I believe in dollars, in my own assets/net worth, no debts, and a great job. Yet still, his net worth is much larger than mine. My dad had multiple affairs throughout his marriage to my mom. Her screams and sobs when she found out are burned into my memory. Sad. I had never really thought much about prenups until my fiancé brought it up again after we got engaged. I did some research and decided that if I have to pay a lawyer to review whatever his lawyer drafts to protect his assets, I want to add an infidelity clause too. I think of it a cathartic nod to the 18-year-old version of myself who saw my mom be cheated on, as well as the aftermath from all the affairs. I do not think my fiancé will cheat. Nice one. The best I can describe my feelings towards the infidelity clause is like this. It's like if your house catches on fire and burns down, once you got a new one, you'll always pay extra to have the insurance. It will 99.999% never burn down again, but you will sleep more soundly and you are getting insurance anyway. When I brought this up 3 months ago, it was a long conversation, but he eventually agreed. He was at peace with me having my lawyer at it. His lawyer was still drafting the prenup at this time. Tonight at dinner, he brought up that we need to review the prenup. I said sure, and that at a glance it looked fine to me. I then told him that I was still going to have my lawyer add the clause. When I brought this up, he got really upset and started to say things like, "This clause is just going to cause more back and forth with the lawyers. I don't want to do that." To which I responded, "Well, that's why we'll come up with the terms together, like how we went over the prenup terms before the lawyer drafted it." Then he said, "Well, we would have to define what counts as cheating. Hey, what if you decide to divorce me one day, so you just say I cheated? What if I'm alone with someone and you say it's cheating?" When he said this, I was caught off guard. It felt really irrational because in divorce courts, you need hard proof of cheating, such as photos, documentation, or an omission from the spouse. It's not something you can just say based on feeling and a judge will agree with you. Yep. Falsely accusing someone of cheating is also something I would never do. It felt like a bunch of excuses, and I was confused on why he was now not okay with it after we had a long discussion a few months ago where he agreed to it. He said he would never cheat and doesn't even want to think about cheating, and adding the clause would make him think about it. I understand that your partner asking for an infidelity clause would feel shitty, emotional, or like your partner doesn't trust you. I think only people who have been in my shoes could be asked to add it to a prenup and shrug it off without reading too much into it emotionally. It is important to me to add it. I have to pay for a lawyer regardless, and I would like my request to be understood and respected in the same way I respected his request for a prenup that protects his assets. Okay. She said, "Thanks for reading this. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts." Welcome here again, guys. And it is the unlicensed counselor here. Yes, I have changed my name thanks to your advice and many suggestions. I'm grateful for all of you. I'm really thankful. All of you. I'm not American, I'm a Nigerian. I'm grateful and thankful for all of you. So, what we're going to be doing this time around is I'm going to be reading relationship problems as posted on Reddit, and we probably would discuss. I will look for the best and interesting stories that could get engaging, and I will just share my thoughts. I'm a counselor, but I'm unlicensed, and I'll just share my thoughts, and I'd like to hear yours as well. Anyways, let's dive into today's topic. So, you all heard. First things first, I am going to be very clear, and I'm going to say this, right? My opinion, my thoughts. I don't understand prenups. I don't get them. I don't know why they should be included in marriages. From what I see, you are calculated. You're protecting yourself exactly from who and from what. I understand people are becoming very calculated as well in figuring out who they want to be with, and I know that some people are pretentious when it comes to picking wealthy partners so that they can benefit from the relationship. However, when it's a true union, I don't think you should even be getting married if you're not sure of who you're getting married to. Forget that people are liars and whatnot, but if there is a for better for worse clause in your marriage vows, why are we signing a prenup? A prenup just states that there's no worse. I cannot stand the worst. I am ready to get out when things get tough. Maybe it's me. Share your thoughts. That by the side, let's go into what this lady has to say. Her fiancé drafted a prenup, or told his lawyer to draft a prenup to protect his assets, which she was fine about. And then she also let him know that if I'm also in this situation, I could also draft mine. And he said, oh, that's fine. So initial conversations was, I want to do this. So now I'm in his head, right? And I'm like, okay, I want to do this. And she's like, okay, I also want to do this. And I said, oh yeah, sure. And the sure was based on, I'm going to get what I want anyways, right? However, he didn't envisage that she was going to, it was going to be the infidelity clause she wanted to add to the prenup. So now, here are my thoughts. First things first, why is it okay for you to draft a prenup, but it's not okay for her to include the infidelity clause? I don't get it. If you're okay with drafting a prenup to protect your assets, she's also feeling like, what? I'm not small in the world. I have also gathered some of my assets, and they're quite valuable. And you know what? To protect myself, I want to put the infidelity clause. Now, bear in mind, myself and you, we don't know what is inside his own prenup agreement, but apparently, it looks like she somehow feels that she's not safeguarded, right? And you know what, I'm going to put the infidelity clause to secure my own assets. However, in my head, right, I'm now thinking, is it truly about her assets? Because she mentioned her parents. Her mom was always crying and sobbing when she found out about her dad cheating. So basically, we don't even know exactly what happened in her parents' marriage. It could be that, maybe she saw her mom, lose everything when the dad cheated, or maybe he squandered everything when he cheated, and it just put her at a bad financial place. And she just thought, you know what, now that I have made my own money, I'm not going to be caught in that kind of situation my mom was in. And so, based on this, which is an emotional situation, compared to the logical one, the finances and the assets, And I really don't blame her for it. In fact, for both of them, their thoughts and their ideas are valid. And the reasons for the prenup, they're valid. But however, in marriage, is it really necessary? I really think of it as you're already setting yourself up for failure and you're already protecting yourself before the failure comes. Marriage is not a contract. Number one, why are we doing prenup? Because when you do prenup, it already shows you don't trust me. The trust factor is gone. So you can throw it at someone, but you can't receive it, right? You're now saying if she puts the infidelity clause, it shows that she doesn't trust you. And then it will make you think about it. I beg. Anybody's going to do what they're going to do regardless. Me cheating cannot be as a result of your actions towards me. I've already thought about it. It's in my head. And so people should stop blaming other people for doing wrong things. It's you. You can choose to react to whatever way, whatever action I throw at you and whatever things I say to you. So you'll find a situation where a man will say, I cheated because my wife was not giving, was not satisfying me sexually. Oga, you have always wanted to cheat. Or I cheated because my wife said some things and I just wanted to vent and I just found myself and it just happened. It was a one-time mistake. Hello, sir. There are people who have gotten angry and walked out and gone to a bar to drink. There are people who have walked out and gone for a walk. There are people who have walked out and gone for a stroll. There are people who have chosen to say, you know what, instead of me just focusing on the sex, let me divert my attention to something else. So sir, please, or ma, don't tell me that it's because your spouse did this, that's why you cheated. Or that is why you are now thinking of it as, oh, I'm going to cheat. Which is what I see in what he said. When he said, you adding it is now going to start making me think about it. Well, you drafting the prenup already shows you don't trust me with your assets. And by the way, if I'm married to you, somehow, whether emotionally, financially, spiritually, mentally, somehow I contribute to your growing finances. Let's be honest with ourselves. So why do you think I'm not entitled to it in any way? In your case, just in case something happens between us. Why can't you, for the sake of marriage, say, okay, I am going in wholeheartedly. I'm going in with my heart on my sleeves and, whatever happens. Marriage is a gamble. There's really, the minute you start being logical, you start thinking about it and putting it on paper and start, writing and saying, okay, if this happens, this is what's going to happen. If this happens, this is how we're going to take it. If this happens, you start looking at things from the logical angle, like you're in the workplace. Elo Sailuma, you're going to fail. To be honest, you're going to fail. You cannot say, oh, now he now realizes that, oh, if the cheating happens, it means that at some point he just feels it's a man's world, so shit can happen. I might cheat, I just might cheat. But if I cheat, and she decides to break up with me or end the marriage, it's a win-win. She's not going to go with any of my assets. But now she has added it. Oh yeah, okay, what do you want to do? It means that cheating is in your eye. You have decided that you want to cheat. And as he said, you know what? The way you're protecting your assets, I'm going to protect mine, which I don't think that is it. I think she's protecting her heart in this case, and it's valid. However, my honest thoughts, it do be like if they enter this marriage, it's going to scatter Blanca, because the factors that surround their incoming marriage is weird. They're already saying, if you do this, these are grounds for divorce. This thing you do is for divorce. Hello, for better, for worse. It's clearly stated, no matter how terrible, no matter how bad it is for better, for worse. Worse can be anything. It can be the dirtiest thing. It can be the dirtiest secret. It can be the dirtiest situation. It is how both of us can come together, regardless of whatever, and come out of it as a couple. Stop saying prenup this, prenup that, and if this happens, this is the situation, this is grounds for divorce. The Bible has already told us what grounds for divorce are. Death of a spouse, or like for you to remarry, death of a spouse, and infidelity. However, this happened during the law. When Jesus came, he came and he cleared the air concerning the law. He's not saying we should not follow the law. He came and he renewed it. He rewrote the law. And what we have as Christians right now is forgiveness. No matter how terrible your partner might have wronged you, you can forgive. And forgiveness is a pre-verb. It's a verb. It's something you should have done, long ago, even before the offense comes. Forgive regardless. Forgive for whatever reason. It will hurt. It definitely will hurt, and it might take a while getting back. But forgiveness is part of marriage. So why are we already thinking of divorce? It means that I can look today and just say that because I have $50 million, I don't want to share this $50 million with my partner. So therefore, if shit hits the wall, you're not getting anything. I don't think that's... I know people are doing it now. Does it make it valid? Does it, validates it, but does it make it right in the marriage context? I honestly don't think so. And I really want to know your thoughts concerning this situation or this matter. I honestly think the girl is protecting her heart, maybe not her assets, because she looks like someone who would gladly split her assets if there was no prenup in the first place. So why is the guy thinking about prenup? What is in his head? Why is that the situation in his mind? And some people will come now and tell me that it's a family thing in our family, because we do have money now. We go and sign prenup so that anybody that marries us like this will not run away with money. Hello, I get it, Sha. I get it, because if you're a billionaire, I think your spouse is entitled to 50% of whatever it is that you have, but then the prayer is that we don't get married to the wrong people. That's why you don't just get married. It's a spiritual exercise that you have to involve God in. And you have to keep praying and keep hoping that this gamble that you have set yourself against, the person that you have decided to gamble this life with, will gamble on the same level with you. And gamble it together with God. And when God is added like this, it's not gambling again. God is already giving you instructions on how to go about it. But come on, divorce shouldn't be on the table even before the marriage starts. I just feel what is even setting up that marriage is that prenup. And the minute that prenup comes in to protect your assets, trust is lost. When trust is lost, what do remain? Not much. And so those are my thoughts. Please, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comment section. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe as well. And then I will see you in our next story. Stay on Licensed Counselor. Cheers, guys, and have a lovely weekend.